Bitcoin is trying right now to break into higher levels, and I will show you exactly from where I would right now take a position, because there is not much time left. You have not much time left if you want to take advantage of this next move. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Wednesday. I almost said Tuesday. The time is running again like crazy this week. We jump directly into the charts here. So we are looking at oil on a daily chart. Oil keeps declining, which is a major sign that the ceasefire in Israel and Iran is in effect and is holding currently. And even if there would be some escalations again, which I am absolutely not seeing happening, there would be no big reaction to that anymore. So, and the simple fact that it looked to me like really bad theater when they attacked each other. Then they basically stopped, said we are done, and now let's chill, let's be friends again. So that just looked super suspicious to me, to act in that way when they were basically having a ceasefire, sending each other missiles, and then like one side is firing, then the other side fires, and then they're like, okay, now it's okay, you know. And oil was at the same time going to the downside while this was happening, and the market always tells you the news. So, and the news basically was both sides didn't want to lose face, and they wanted just to hit each other one more time, like one knock on one jab for each other, and then they're like, okay, now we can be friends again. So that's basically what happened, and the market was seeing that before anybody else was seeing that. So, and when you can spot things like this, when you see the market react like this to escalation or potential escalations in the world, but the market is going in a favorable direction for you, and that would be for us that crypto goes back to the upside and oil goes down, and the market actually does that, then you know with the news is something wrong. So there was something else going on. So just that on a side note. The dollar index was breaking down here further to the downside yesterday. We get here a small bounce currently, which can still technically turn around here and break this bearish pennant. I also need to change the color one more time here. Back into yellow. If it's not happening then today, then by the end of the week, I see us definitely getting below that bearish pennant here, that bear flag. When we measure the bear flag, then here's our technical target. Let's say we break down by Friday, then it's 91 points on the dollar index. So in a drop like that is a massive drop that will get us with Bitcoin into the $120,000 level. So I just got a notification that Bitcoin actually went higher. So let's have a look here on Bitcoin. So here on the daily chart, yesterday we spoke about that we need to break here above this downward sloping trend line to enter a new trade setup. If you were not already in a trade, then this would have been, or right now is the moment to actually get in with a stop loss at yesterday's candle, bottom candle. So, and that was here at $104,500. That's roughly a 2.5% move to the downside. That would be currently your stop loss while we are pumping here into higher levels. If we can close this daily candle as it is, that is absolutely the only thing that we need to see today. If we see that happening, expect that Bitcoin over the next coming days will take out this all-time high. I'm going to show you in a moment also why, and why it is important that you act right now, because things can go really quickly, really crazy. Here on this 4-hourly chart, I can show you why we're actually moving right now to the upside. And the reason for that is that we have here multiple moving averages. So we have here the 20, the 50, and we have the 200 moving average. And when you're looking here, the 50 is in blue, the 200 is the greenish one. Let me make this potentially a different color. We can see this better. Purple, but light purple. Is that better, or should we make it orange? No, orange is biting with that. Yeah, let's keep like a greenish tone. Yeah, no, I think I like this purple more. Yeah, so let's keep the 200 in purple. All three of them are converging right now, crossing each other to the upside. So 200 is going up here, the 50 is going up here, and the 20 is going up here, and all creating a golden cross. That's why Bitcoin is pumping like crazy over the last couple hours here. And now, right now, we are running into a small resistance area all the way up here. Once this area is broken, we will go all the way up to the top of the range, of that overall trading range here, to $109,000 approximately. I can definitely see this be happening today, that we are reaching the top of the range. If we are potentially getting a new all-time high, questionable in my opinion. So for today, new all-time high, I would rule this out for now. But you see here, we are trying to break already this $107,245 level. If we can close above that, and the next candle keeps going, the next 4-hourly candle will already go here into $109,000. If we break then even further up, then a new all-time high is here in the next 24 hours. That's why I'm telling you, you have not much time left. There's not much time left to take a position before it goes into new all-time high. And I explained the other day why it is so important that you get into a position before we're actually having a new all-time high, because when we have a new all-time high, it's really hard to determine from where you can then at a lower price open a new position. And it is always better to have one before we are getting there. So right now, this is a really good level, current price level, a really good level to enter there. With a stop loss, like I said, at here, $104,700 approximately. So 1.8% risk reward ratio. You have here 2.3% of a stop loss with a 4.46. Okay, the risk reward changed a little bit. 4.46% profit just into the old all-time high. So, but because we are going past that to get a new all-time high, I would expect here $114,000 roughly. So now we are talking about 6.4% with a almost 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio with the same stop loss. If you want to trade, guys, with me together on BloFin, there is a link in the pinned comment below and in the description below. You get up to $5,000 in deposit bonuses and sign-up bonuses. Plus, you get access to my course that I usually sell for $1,000. If you deposit at least $100, guys, you only need to deposit $100, you will get free access here to this self-paced course. 52 video lessons, over 100 hours of video material, 107 quizzes, 25 interactive tasks. You have a final exam, and you see here, usually I sell this for $1,000. Right now, I'm giving it away for free. If you sign up on BloFin, deposit at least $100 and fill out the Google form that is in the description and in the pinned comment below. In the Google form, the most important thing is your BloFin number and the BloFin number and your email address, because we need the email address to send you the login information to the course. Only with your email address we can do that. You will not find the course in your BloFin account, because some people thought they find it in the BloFin account. No. Fill out the Google form when you have signed up on BloFin and deposited $100, and then we're going to send to the email address that you fill in the Google form the login credentials to get access to the course. And again, this is only going on for another 6 days until the 1st July, only until the 1st of July. Then I don't know when I'm going to open up my program again for free. So only in the next six days, you can take advantage of that. So I hope you do that, especially when Bitcoin pumps you to the upside and you don't really know what you're doing right now. Then rather take that course, take it slow, and then you're going to understand everything what I'm actually showing you here. Now on this 1 hourly chart, the V-shaped pattern, that recovery pattern, has now halfway already played out. Remember from where we were entering this. We entered this from all the way down here. That's where we entered this. So we entered this from here with a stop loss all here. So to the technical target, it's 5.53%. On this trade, we're up 3.1% currently. So now, depending on how much leverage you use, let's say 10x, you are up 31% on that trade right now. And what I'm looking for here on the 1 hourly chart in Bitcoin is that we are breaking above that red resistance zone. If we are breaking above that red resistance zone, you're going to get another push here, like I said, into $108,300, $109,000 approximately. And there we're going to stop here on that lower high. That will be a resistance, and we're going to reassess the situation from there. To the downside, if we are getting rejected from this level up here and we come back down, expect that we go at least back to the point of control to $105,400 here on the VPR. But I see a potential lower target to come all the way back down here to $103,900, $103,000 approximately. So why do I see us coming down there? Because we have two imbalance candles on the 4-hourly chart that are these ones here. So these are two impulse candles, both have an imbalance, as you can see here. So here, there's the imbalance, and here's the imbalance in each candle. So at some point, these imbalances, they get filled. Not always, but most of the time. Most of the time they get filled. It doesn't have to happen like all the time, like every single candle, you know, but most of the time they get filled. So, and you should be prepared for that scenario if that is actually happening. So let me go back here. The best that you can do right now is, like I said, either wait for a break of $107,245 that we are staying above that and keep going higher and you enter at that specific level, or you set limit orders at $103,000 to $105,000 and you layer them again. So here, 103,000, start layering them all the way up here. Sorry, that was a little bit too high, but you get the picture to like $105,000. Here, that is the zone where you want to layer your limit orders right now to add to your position or to open new positions. Like I said, if we break higher from here to $107,245, you enter there with a 15-minute candle close because we are just keep going into higher levels and to all the targets here on the lower time frames, like here, the $109,700 target, for example. On the liquidation levels, there is also not right now a lot of liquidity to the downside to be grabbed. That's why we keep going higher and liquidate all the short liquidity that's stacked above us. The 50 moving average is turning around here, marking this potentially as a fake out, that death cross, which would be amazing because here by Saturday we get most likely a golden cross, and that will be confirmation that we are breaking into a new all-time high, worst case by next week. But I see it happening much, much faster right now. And the 50 moving average is just lagging behind. So, and what happens then, you have seen it in the past, we get the golden cross, but price will be up here already, potentially. So, and what happens then is, at some point, the price will come back down to test the 50 as support. We get a bounce from there, then we continue to chop or continue to move straight into higher price levels. On the liquidation heat map, here nothing has changed a lot besides that we got the short squeeze that I was talking about just yesterday. In these two big 4-hourly candles over the last 8 hours. Now there is another level. If we get above that we trigger another short squeeze, and that is $107,400. So we are already pretty close to that level, and that short squeeze will get us up here into the $109,000 range that I also just spoke about. If we can manage to break $110,000, we go straight to $111,200, and there is the majority of the liquidity right now, which is also a new all-time high. And now really, really big resistance. There, I definitely expect a rejection. Could be a really quick one to like here, that lower high of $108,000 approximately, maybe even a little bit lower to like 107. From there, we turn around and keep pushing. The 4-hourly chart with the MDX Algo Scalp Gradient. So here you see what I meant, that we most likely keep going to the upside because we did not even run hot on the reactor indicator and also not candle-wise. But now we're here in that resistance area, and you see here that stops at $107,800. And just above that, the lower end of the next resistance is at $109,000. While we are in that breakout window of that overall bullish pennant here. As long as we are staying above the daily open today at $106,000, as long as we're staying above that, expect Bitcoin to keep pushing here into that downward sloping resistance of that pennant, which is right now sitting at around $108,300 and potentially wick into $109,000. So that's why I mentioned, so if you get a position at $107,250, that is your first take profit level. There I would expect the first rejection, small one. You could potentially round trip into your entry. That's why you should take some profit off there. And then it turns around and then you get here the next major leg. So because on the React indicator, the most likely outcome, what we are getting here now over the next couple hours, is at some point you're getting a bearish divergence on the 4-hourly chart. There is a bearish divergence already on the 1-hourly chart, but that might be now invalidated because we went a little bit higher just a couple minutes ago, and I looked at this like an hour ago, so the RSI should be a little bit higher. But there are bearish divergences potentially already shaping up on the lower time frames, and that will spill over in the 4-hourly time frame. We get here then that R for bearish divergence, and then at some point we're going to top out, get here again a take profit signal, which will be your first major indicator that potentially now there will be another pullback. So of course the pullback will be not that bad for us compared to the previous one, because if we pull back from here and then consolidate, and then break out again to the upside, who really cares? So we are above $107,000 right now, and that will be also most likely then one of the pullback levels. On the daily chart, what did I mention? Now for the last couple of days, we were talking about this, that the golden ratio is potentially the second wave of that 5-wave Elliott count, and we needed an impulse move to confirm that. The last 3 days have confirmed that. So if we are getting now a breakout above $107,700 and can close today above that specific level, expect really quickly a move into that all-time high here, the prior all-time high at $111,843. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this is most likely going to be happening in the next 24 hours once we are breaking above that line here. And Bitcoin looks primed to at least try to test that level here, but also potentially go straight through that into higher prices. On the weekly chart, I want to give you here some midterm to long-term targets that I'm looking at. So here, the next potential all-time high based on this upward sloping channel is first of all $112,000 if we do it this week, because that is the mid-range upward sloping parallel channel, $112,186. From there, on a daily chart, I would expect a retracement, but then the following day, most likely, we're going to push higher. I'm not saying we go to 120, but we could go up to $114,000 is what I see. And then long term, I see here that we are touching here in this channel $145,000 approximately. So we have bounced up and down in this channel for quite a while. Every time when we came to the bottom of that channel, for example here in January last year, we were at $37,000. We went to the top of the channel, $72,000, moved down again to $55,000, then up again, all the way up here to $111,800. Then we came now back down in what month? In April to $75,000 approximately. And now we are in the process of going back to the top of the channel. And this time it will be around $145,000, $150,000 when we are touching the top of this upward sloping parallel channel. If we break out of that, then we go straight higher. If we keep bouncing, then most likely we're gonna get one more move here into the top of that range. So I also don't believe that the next time that we come back all the way to the bottom here, when we go to 150, I don't see Bitcoin retracing 50%, and we most likely only come back to the mid range, go then up here into the final all-time high for this cycle. And then when we come back to the mid-range, we break it, and this could be a bottom target for the next bear market. If we touch here $170,000 approximately, I see actually us going lower than 100, but the channel will be one of the first indications if we have found a bottom in the next bear market, or if we break lower. So because I see actually us going at least to like 70, in the 70s. But this is far away. We're going to talk about it when we're getting closer. So now Bitcoin dominance is of course breaking out here. Not surprising with a move like that in Bitcoin, but again, we are still technically here back in the rising wedge pattern, and we're gonna see a breakdown at some point here in the next coming days, potentially in the next up to 2 weeks. I would say that is where we have to start to break down. I'm gonna show you tomorrow a chart why it is so important that we start to break down, and why it will happen around the first couple of days of July. By the latest. I'm going to show you tomorrow a chart. I had no time to prepare this today, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. The total free market cap is retesting $835 billion as a resistance. Once we break above that, this downward sloping trend line of that overall parallel downward sloping channel will not be a huge resistance to break through, and we're gonna get most likely some violent moves here over a period of 3 to 4 days where we go straight to $928 billion. So you should better prepare your altcoin bags. If you want to trade with me altcoins, guys, do that on Bybit. You still get up to $30,000 in sign-up bonuses and deposit bonuses there. I do most of my altcoin trades on Bybit all the time, plus you get a Bybit card if you're eligible for it. So take advantage of that. Because the card is just amazing. Every time that I pay something, I get 10% of my of that amount back that I actually spent. Plus, you get still a $500 free Airdrop position, but only with the link in the pin comment below and in the description below. You will be eligible for that. Now, when we're looking at Ethereum is moving here in direction of the VPVR, the point of control here at $2,500. Remember what I said, if you're not in this trade setup from all the way down here, you want to wait that we are closing a candle above the point of control and enter from there and trade this then into $3,200. That is the next major trade that we can take right now. Ethereum is no man's land. I would not open a position from here unless we pull back to like $2,341. That would be a level where I would start building a small position or add to my current position if you are all the way in from $2,176. Otherwise, we are still waiting for a break back into that bullish pennant here with a breakout in the first week of July. So that's what I'm seeing currently, because we are consolidating here now for an extended period, just because the VPVR has here the longest historical volume traded area, which is giving us major resistance to break here, finally into the $3,000 mark. For Solana, I told you so many times, guys, that when we come here into these green zones, you should buy. So if you would have done it, you would be slightly up on your trade right now. But here is right now your last opportunity to get into Solana before we see a major move, even from here right now. So from current price, I would enter this and trade this into $164 with a stop loss. That's a little bit tricky right now, where to set the stop loss here. So I would put it there. So here a 3.71% stop loss with a 13% move to the upside. You look at a 1 to 3.5 risk to reward ratio, which is absolutely fine. And the technical target would be $165 here for that move. Why all the way up here? Because there we had the last deviation all the way up here with that lower high, and that makes it a target to the upside, and that's why I would close then a part of the position, or at least raise my stop losses here to like $157 when we're reaching $164. Here for Solana, I can see a small pullback back to like $142. Also there, I would open a position from that because the stochastic is not looking good. Wants to go down. The RSI is going down. MACD is losing momentum. So there is a case to be made that we come first a little bit lower before we then push higher. It's up to you if you want to take the risk to enter now. If we come down here to like $142, it's not the end of the world. We're talking about 2%. And that's why you should not over leverage yourself. If you go in with like 5x leverage, 10x leverage, you're fine. If you go with 25x leverage, 50x leverage into this trade, you get most likely wrecked, So just don't do that. One of the coins that I'm currently trading and holding a position with is Hype from Hyperliquid. Here I have also marked out a level from where I would currently enter if I would be not already in a position, and that would be $38.93. You want this level to be broken because you can see here there's resistance. Here's a deviation above that. Here twice resistance, retest. But once we break through this, this will go up really, really quickly. So here from that last high to the last low, the next target would be around first $40, here the golden ratio, the 0.65, 0.618, and then the extended golden ratio, $55 approximately, $53.2 and $55 here in the extended golden ratio. These are the next targets for hype. So why do I think that we are going to break through this level? Because the momentum is here definitely favoring us. The RSI is going to the upside. The stochastic RSI is flying, and the MACD is about to turn here around and give us a buy signal in the next 2 to 3 days. So I'll definitely also trade that that I will be holding until then. So then here on the 4-hourly chart, also here we are above the 50 moving average. The only problem that I have here is, again, that we are getting on the stochastic RSI overbought conditions, and the RSI is also slightly turning around here because of that resistance level. But once we are breaking through this, you're going to see that hyperliquid will start flying again here. First in that resistance block here at around $45, $46. And then higher from there. And I want to show you that I actually have that trade open. Let me see here. So right now this trade is a little bit underwater because I entered from $38.26 because we were earlier above that here. I think here in this candle when we pumped, I went into this. And what I see just right now, we are forming here on that 1-hourly chart a W pattern. So once here the neckline is broken, you have a double confirmation that we are going higher. So and that gives you a slightly lower entry at $38.70. So when you see a 15-minute candle above here, you can technically enter this already and trade this then all the way up. So but this, I'm not concerned about this. This is a 656, it was 57 almost. Big high position. So that means I'm trading here right now with $25,000. That is the position worth, you know, so $25,000 position that I'm trading this with. The next coin that we can talk about is Uniswap. Uniswap looks also primed for a move to the upside, but first we're going to get most likely also here retest of support at like $6.83. We bounce to the upside, break out of that falling wedge pattern at $7.31, retest the upper range at $7 again. Then we go here into the resistance of $7.76. Just that you see here, if we reach the bottom of that range, so that alone is here 13% move. That can happen in one single day with Uniswap. So this is fairly quickly trade, and potentially a day trade if you are lucky. So let me set this up quickly correct for you. So all the way up here, stop loss would be here below that candle. A 4% stop loss against a 13% move to the upside. So the risk to reward ratio is absolutely fine for this trade. Let the trade come to you here. So here I definitely see us coming first down a little bit before we go higher. And I think on the 1-hourly chart, on the 1-hourly chart, there is a bearish divergence right now playing out because the RSI is going down. The RSI is going down while price was going up at the same time. And now that bearish divergence is playing out. So and I think the bottom here at $6.83 is the level that we are going to fulfill this bearish divergence, and then we reverse back to the upside. Guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more money tomorrow.